Hello everyone. Welcome to this, well, pseudo painting video. Quite some time back, I wanted to share my painting journey of painting miniatures and recording from or documenting from the first model I've ever painted to completion to, the latest. And, well, then I had a hard drive problem and lost the footage and couldn't do that. And I said, well, I would eventually get around to just showing the finished model and talking about it. So that's what we have here. This, will it focus? I have no idea. This is the very first model that I've painted to completion. This is from the Warhammer 40K, or Warhammer 40,000 game line from Games Workshop. This is a Necron Warrior. This is a older model, to be clear. They've redesigned it. This here, it is a translucent green rod that would go in here to, create this green energy effect that this robot race is known for. And they got rid of that. It didn't quite work the way they wanted, but I kind of like it myself. Now, let's get into the model. So, if you've never done model painting, I'm going to lie it down here. There we go. If you've never done model painting, the first thing you do is assemble it, but the next thing is you prime it. Different school of thought, people who have far more knowledge than I do, it is typically primed either a black, a gray, or a white, depending upon what you're going to be doing for the rest of the colors. I don't have that knowledge as to which. I used a gray primer on this model. And then from there, I put on 2 thin coats. It's better if one was to put on a couple of thin coats than a very thick coat of paint. So I was learning, that and how to do it, and interesting. But I put on a dark silver, then a bright silver, which you can see here. It's bright, it's shiny. We'll get into the other colors, the highlights and things like that. And then once I got that done, I started to do, you can see down here, in the joints of the bones, and in the knee here, that arm's not a good example. Okay, focus, the elbow on this side, and the forearm bones there that you can see. Well, there's that black there. That is a black wash, and the idea was to create like a shadow, a darkness within the joints, within the spaces of these bones, if you will. And, yep. Okay, I didn't do it here. I do it in future ones. Down the spine, there's a little bit of black wash. And then there's this paint color called, and these are from Games Workshop. Here, let me show you the paint pot. Here, this is called, it's a It's a technical classification of paint. I just ignore those because I really don't know what they mean, at least yet. And it is called Tesseract Glow. It's separated, because it's been sitting around. But when you mix it, it gets this green color. It pops out on the gun here on the coils. And so I wanted to paint the spaces between the rib cage, the eyes, which you may be able to make out in the video. So I wanted to do that. Now, it doesn't have a glow effect. I'm still learning how to do that. But I put it in the rib cage, I put it in the eyes. It's in the gun there on the coils. It is also in the spaces on the back. Now this here, you can see there's a bit of it on the forearm here. That was meant to be a light source effect coming from the green rod, making a portion of the arm shine a little bit green from that energy. But I did not make it a heavy green color. It was more like a highlight. I think it turned out okay, honestly. Right. And that kind of... Oh, sorry. The gun. Completely forgot about that. Don't know how. But anyway, so this is actually a gold color, but to me it comes across more as a copper or brass. So I wanted a copper or brass type color, and this gold works very well for that. It doesn't show up very well, mostly because I did not paint it well. There's a little Ankh symbol, A-H-U-N-H? No, U-N-K? I think it's supposed to be an Egyptian word. I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, it's on the chest, and I wanted to paint it that bronzy gold color as well. To add come on, focus. Sorry. To add a different aspect of color to the gun, one of the two hoses I covered in a black wash. I'm experimenting. In this one, I'm experimenting a little bit, like, what's this going to look like? This is what, a lot of people kind of say to do, and I was getting advice from my partner on what to do and things like that. And it's like, okay, well, what does this look like? And do I like it? And that sort of thing. We'll talk about the base in just a moment. And the model, I dove right in. I had no hesitation, but I had a lot of questions. Why am I painting this color and then the same thing, a different shade of the same color, like going from the dark silver to the light silver and things like that? And I didn't understand color theory. I still don't, for that matter. Let's be clear. I do not know it. I am very confused by it. But I'm trying to just be energetic about it and just jumping right in, and if I make a mistake, I was accepting that I made a mistake on a model, which you'll see in the second one, in the second video of this. But let's go to, sorry for the shakiness of the cam, but let's go to the base here. Now what you're seeing is a different combination of things. I wanted to do kind of a swampy base. So I wanted to get a mud texture paint down. It is very thick. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in it. It's meant to stay thick, so you can kind of build it up. And things like that. Now this is from a company called Vallejo, and it's incredible. Now Games Workshop does put out a mud texture base paint, and my partner has used it. My partner has used the Vallejo mud, and they have said that they prefer the Vallejo mud. I have never used Games Workshop, and I've only used the Vallejo, and I love what the Vallejo gives me. Now, okay, I do have it right by me. Now, let's see, these might be a bit tricky to point out, so, okay, let's get a little knife here. These colors here, this red, orange, and blue, these are things that I made with a combination of baking soda. There, that's a pretty good shot. Baking soda and gel super glue from Gorilla. Gorilla gel super glue. Baking soda and super glue have this chemical reaction, create a very hard lump of thing. I don't know really what to call it, but I make these, and I use these little things as rocks, and then I paint them. And I thought they turned out fantastic. What's a great thing about doing your own kind of rocks and stuff like that is if you just look into online at some geology, there are no rules in terms of colors for rocks and things like that, and textures and shapes and all that stuff. So I just do what I think is pretty and what I like. And I love these little objects of the baking soda and things like that. It just, yes. And I'm going to be carrying that through and making things. Yeah, on my very first model, I'm crafting custom stuff. Why? It's an awesome expression of creativity, and that's something that I really enjoy. And that's something that you'll see. Even if something comes out bad, it's this creative thought that I just love this experimentation. Now, let's see, does it show up better here? Yes. This darker here, this darker green part, is a product of a swamp tuff, it's called. It's just a little package of all these different shapes and color things, and just peel off a little piece, a little thing, and you stick it to it. And there's two on there. This here is, hang on one second. It's meant to be moss, but I think it turned out more like grass, which is funny because that's what this is. It's grass. This is a very old. Does it have a date on it? I really wish I had glasses. I see a date of 2000, 2007. So yeah, this is a fairly old one, but this is like static grass and things like that. I just put some glue down, sprinkle some of this on top, knock off the extra, and you have it. And this, from that, and you would finish it with a matte finish or a varnish. Matte finish meaning it's not going to be shiny, or a varnish, it's going to be shiny. And to seal it, to protect it, and focus. There we go. And this is how my first model came out. I am very, very, very happy with it. As a first attempt, with the lack of knowledge I have and understanding and control of the brush, it was kind of a surprise that I was able to go this well. That made no sense, but you know what I mean. Like, for first attempt, yes, please. I would like more of this. Well, I didn't quite get more of this, but in the second one. But the second one, I'm still quite happy, but for very different reasons, and we'll go into those when I get to that video. But yes, this is the final, very first model I have painted from beginning to end. And how long did it take me? A long time, because I have to rest a lot. So I might only be able to do, say, one complete coat, or maybe two complete coats, of like the silver, and then I'm done for the day. And it's just the way it is, and I don't mind that. So yes, I'm looking forward to doing the other 2 videos. Actually, I have more videos to do because I have continued to do it. I even started doing something called a hobby streak. Let's put that back there. This is on Twitter, where every day I post what I was able to do within the hobby of model making and painting and stuff like that. And yesterday, at the time of this recording, yesterday was day 59. Now, that doesn't mean I'm painting every day. No. What it does mean is I'm trying to do something every day, no matter how small. So, yeah, some of it's painting, some of it's building, some of it is, well, I spend a portion of the day just cleaning up my hobby stuff. Yeah, that was it. That's part of the hobby. You do have to clean up. So, anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this first video. And hopefully I remember to edit out a few things that, I just don't want it in. Let's hope. So, until next we meet, please do be safe, everyone. Bye. Stop shaking, camera.